Hello everyone, I'm back with another video for you today, and this time it's time I played a bit more of a meta deck, just to show what that feels like a little bit, to give my personal take on an archetype like this. And to be fair, Rockslide Enchantress have recently been nerfed, they're definitely not as strong now, so I feel justified in playing a deck like this. It's not absolute tier 1 shenanigery, I'm not sure exactly what to rate it. Probably I'll end up rating this, well, get to that after we talk about the cards. So what have we got in here? Well, there's a few cards that I'm definitely not comfortable playing entirely, and I'm not sure you should be running them. Things like Daredevil is a card that could definitely be cut from this deck. Think for perhaps Jeff the Shark could be a nice 2-drop to include. Maybe even another 3-cost card, perhaps. The Enchantress in the deck's also a little bit questionable because, of course, you're running a lot of ongoings when you have a Darkhawk deck. With the Zabu, even the armor, Mystique, Darkhawk, it can sometimes be awkward, the Enchantress. You definitely have to do a little bit of predictive play, seeing what the opponent has, whether they're going to have something that you can hit with the Enchantress, and trying to avoid hitting yourself. So I'm not sure that's correct. Maybe a Shang-Chi would suit you better. Certainly you can play that card if you prefer. But the rest of the deck I quite like, and I think it's definitely very powerful still, the Darkhawk, having that as a sort of 12-point finisher very often with the Mystique as well, lining up with after you've played a Zabu can be very, very powerful. Spider-Man is a card that I really like as well on turn 5, maybe with a Korg, maybe with a 2-drop if you've already played Zabu, can be a really powerful play to lock your opponent out of a location. It kind of acts as a Professor X, but for less mana and even more flexible in many ways for you than a Professor X would be. So yeah, this is a pretty nice style of Zabu Darkhawk, I would say. You can, of course, mix and match a few cards. Maybe you want to play even another 4-drop and really go all in on the Zabu if that's something you prefer to do. But yeah, this deck I've had quite a bit of success with. I've seen on the ladder a lot. It's always giving me troubles when the opponent's playing Darkhawk, even with these nerfs. So what would I rate this? I'm a little torn between 8 and 9. I'll probably rate it a 9 just because I've been giving my homebrew ramp decks 8 all the time. So I think this is probably something that's a bit more meta, a bit more competitive, viable, whatever you want to call it, can be teched to have, good options into a lot of different things. If that's something you want to do, you could in theory even maybe get away with a Killmonger, although that's going a little maybe too far with the teching. So, but yeah, pretty flexible deck, pretty powerful. Let's jump into some games and see how it plays. In we go. Washington going to be the first location. That's not great news, considering that we're going to give the opponent rocks, probably. So they may get some extra value there, which is not great. Oh, okay. Lost Ablos might solve that issue for us. I guess I'll play armor now just to protect Nebula. I'm not sure playing this in the middle was 100% correct. I might lack space a little bit in terms of playing the Mr. Fantastic there and all of that, but we'll find out. I'll try to shuffle the rocks, I think, a bit late into the game if possible, just so that we can, try to avoid the opponent getting that extra Washington value. So perhaps next turn Rockslide, perhaps just Daredevil, Zabu would be maybe good. Of course, we do want to draw some of our actual power finishers here. Not just the, the cards that give Darkhawk strength without actually benefiting him in a big way. Okay, we've got just a bunch of Thanos stones here. I guess I will probably play Rockslide, particularly now that the Washington is gone. There won't be so much downside to that. The opponent's playing Wave, okay. That's kind of a bit scary. Although usually these decks prefer, I think, to play the Wave, on the final turn, so might be okay for me. I guess I will just play Enchantress. Didn't really get Daredevil value this game, nor am I probably even going to play Korg. I don't know. Maybe just going to be the Chavez here that we go for. Chavez will win the middle location, putting us in a pretty good spot to win the game outright, I would say. Probably won't snap now. I think it's a bit too late to do that. Not sure if they can win very easily. They're going to have a She-Hulk doesn't really work, so I'm not sure exactly how they're going to win. Just Devil Dinosaur, yeah, we can take the win with Nebula in the middle. Okay. Pretty straightforward victory there. We'll jump into the next game. Next up, we've got a bit of a Darkhawk in hand. Gonna start with the Daredevil, that's pretty nice for us. Tinkerer's Workshop. If we draw more 2-cost cards, we can still fit those into the curve. I'd probably prefer Jeff, I think, in this deck over the Daredevil. I think that would be a slightly better card, but I don't have it, unfortunately. I am not a Jeff enjoyer. Don't have the card. 6,000 tokens is a lot, man. I can't just be forking out that kind of cash. Rockslide, Darkhawk, definitely going to both want to go in Sinister London. I suppose I can play Nebula here. The opponent will probably never really want to play a card in Necrosha, I would imagine. Typically, this should be quite a good location for this deck, I think. It's playing Electro, okay, interesting. Could mean many, many things. It's a bit scary, you know, it could be even Galactus, potentially. Moving Jeff away to play the Galactus would be quite nasty. I think I will go with the Rockslide, though. Get those rocks in the deck, give the opponent some bricks that they can draw into, and of course set up that really powerful Darkhawk play that we can maybe go for, perhaps playing Zabu next turn, maybe not. I'm just going to play Professor X, that is pretty nasty. Not too much I can actually do about that. I think I'm just going to have to really rely on the Darkhawk here to carry me a bit. Maybe Darkhawk plus Chavez. If Mystique is not bigger, actually Mystique probably will be bigger, so certainly consider that option. Destroyer coming down now, that's a bit of a problem. We'll see though, I mean, Destroyer's going to kill itself, so it doesn't, you know, doesn't get 2 of them. Single Destroyer in Necrosha, I'm not sure if we can overpower this. Overpower what the opponent's got at the end. Difficult. I'm inclined to say there's a chance that we win. The Mystique is 14. It's not a very high chance, you know, they can just play something in Necrosha, they can even play in Sinister London, but obviously playing in Necrosha is probably a good move. They can also even move the Jeff, right? I think, yeah, we have to take a retreat here, realistically. It could stay in, but it looks a bit doomed. That Professor X really messed me up there, didn't it? Alright, let's go again. Okay, another game. We've got Nebula turn 1, that's nice. I could even go with the Korg as well, but I think Nebula in X Mansion here looks pretty solid. I feel like the win rate goes up a lot when you have turn 1 Nebula. It's just such a powerful play, you know. I'll go Korg next, and then Mr. Fantastic, turn 3 if we don't draw anything better that we'd like to play. Ooh, that's a little unfortunate. The Pet Mansion going to take away some of my fantastic value. Not super happy about that, but not to worry too much. Nakia Star-Lord, or what the heck? This is a cool variant. Not sure exactly what this means, what the opponent might be up to. I have a Nimrod, but that doesn't really help me much. Not at all. Perhaps we want to just play a Rockslide here. Get that set up, get the rocks in deck. I suppose I'll play it in the left just to take a slight advantage in that location for now. The opponent is going to play Punisher, so it's a bit annoying. I guess I could play Spider-Man there. If they don't end up playing a card, it will win me the location, which could kind of be quite cheeky. I'm not sure I want to go for it necessarily. I think it's good. I don't imagine they'll play a card here this turn. And honestly, taking a snap on that as well might have been sensible. Let's see. Okay, Claw. Quite a strong play. I've got Darkhawk, Zabu, and they've got, yeah, this is 12, so it's pretty good. I'm sort of quite encouraged to... Is there any point going for the tie? Not really, is there? I think if we go for the tie, it's basically lost already. Do I just take the 12 here? Take the 12, call it a day, hope that it's good enough. I'm not super sure it will be enough. Okay, it is just an onslaught. Okay, cool. I was a little afraid that that would be coming my way, but to be honest, playing Darkhawk right would still win against onslaught there, so... Not the strongest finisher for the opponent. Okay, next game, what have we got? Nebula in Nidavellir? Probably not. Better to play my other cards there, since the opponent will want to play in that location anyway. Definitely Zabu will be wanting to go in Nidavellir. And Vibranium Mine's good for my deck, so I should probably go with a Snap. Even though we don't have Darkhawk in hand, just try to hedge our bets a little bit. We see locations that are good for the deck, we should technically be snapping on those probably. If we're playing optimally, which I am often probably not. But we are going to get a quick retreat. Let's go next. Okay, another game. Tinker's Workshop, but I don't have... Oh, never mind, I have an armor to use. Perfect. Wonderful. Darkhawk Mystique, so we just want now like a Rockslide, a Korg, perhaps a Zabu, to even make, you know, make those work better, but Korg here seems fine. Rock in the deck, can't complain. Shocker, indicative of Patriot, probably. Mystique I can't play, which is a bit unfortunate. You could definitely consider running another 3-drop in this deck as well, instead of Daredevil, perhaps. I could certainly see that being a viable thing to do. So we definitely do want to play Rockslide before the Darkhawk, I think, just because there's a chance we'll want an Enchantress. You know, if they're playing Patriot, we might want to go with Enchantress at some point. I think I'll play the Rockslide now. I mean, we could come to regret that, but okay, yeah, we're going to get the Patriot coming here, so... Quite clearly a Snap is in order, I believe. Yeah, I think we go with the Enchantress here, just to nullify what the opponent's doing. It's kind of got to be better than, you know, doing what we're doing better with the Darkhawk plus Mystique. So I think just shut down the opponent's game plan a bit here. Interestingly, the Mystique effect still works, which is a bit of a pain for me. It might just end up being a tiebreaker game by the looks of things, right? The Darkhawks are 12, so I've got 14 points. I'm currently ahead in tiebreaker. I suppose an Onslaught could be quite nasty, but it wouldn't be enough, I don't think, so I'm gonna just go ahead and play these cards here, I believe. Very unlikely they have a way to win bar with no name, I believe, so... Should end up just being a tiebreaker win of some kind. Or just a double location win. Enchantress working there definitely can be awkward sometimes with your, you know, with your ongoing units, but here it worked out. Alrighty, another game. Triskelion is a bit annoying, but I can get, you know, cards out of my hand quite easily, quite effortlessly with Zabu, so actually probably quite good for me. Iron Lad as well, a card that you could definitely play in this deck, and I think it would be quite OP. Unfortunately I don't have it, so I am unable to use it myself. We'll see if we end up playing it in this game. I've got a lot of great hits, although the Darkhawk has just been drawn. I think I will maybe play it mid. Hitting Enchantress would be bad if I play it mid, but equally hitting Mr. Fantastic would be good. And I want more units in Muir Island, so I think it's acceptable play to make. Stegron's actually going to move my Zabu across. I've not seen Stegron before. It's exciting. Not a particularly amazing card, I don't think. What did we get? Nebula ability. That's quite strong, I suppose. Certainly not complaining. Double Nebula is perhaps quite powerful here. +4 whenever they don't play a card. I think we want to double up on that effect and play a lot of stuff into Muir Island. I'm going to go with a Snap here. I think we're in a very decent position. I've got Valkyrie if I need it with Darkhawk, or even Arnim Zola with Darkhawk. Could be a pretty strong play after this Rockslide and the Triskelion giving the opponents more cards in deck. We're going to get a lot of nice value from these Nebula effects, I hope. Shang-Chi is out. Okay, that's also brilliant news. I was a bit scared my Iron Lad could walk into that, potentially. I want to play the Viper, but equally I want to kind of keep my options open here, if possible. Perhaps we just go for the Darkhawk Mystique line. I think that's most likely to be winning the game. Spider-Man here seems strong, and Viper over here. And then just go for Darkhawk Mystique wherever it's suitable. Yeah, the Spider-Man's really crushing here. It's like a Professor X almost. Leech! I just got leeched. Okay, that's pretty nasty, honestly. I think I will have to play my Chavez out then. Chavez. Could be losing in theory to a Doctor Doom, which is a bit scary. I'm going to end my turn still and go through with it because we're ahead in 3 locations. It's a little bit crazy not to play out the Chavez, I feel, here. The opponent probably still will retreat a lot of the time. They won't have Doctor Doom, but the fact that I don't know what they're playing exactly means I'm definitely inclined to play it out. But yeah, that was an interesting game. Hey, let's get one final game in here. Ooh, very strong start. Nebula, Zabu, cards that I like to see. I'll play Nebula in the sewer system. That's where she belongs. Where those cards get negative strength. Okay, Nova's a bit sketchy. Unless we draw armor, that might mean that our good friend Nebula is not long for the world. This world. Zabu played. I could go with Enchantress on Zabu if that's something that interests us. They might have their own Darkhawk and such though, so maybe we want to try to save the Enchantress if possible. Yeah, I think I'll just play Rockslide for now. I could play Korg, but I'm imagining that Killmonger will be coming at some point, so probably better to hold on for the time being. Elysium is coming out, sure. They've only got 1 card in hand, 2 now, and Rock's in their deck though, so feeling pretty reasonable. I think I will Enchantress the Zabu now, just because. That being said, that Enchantress is my own Zabu, so maybe not. I certainly would quite like the option to, you know, play Darkhawk Mystique. I think I will go for the Darkhawk here. Just try to be, okay, a bit annoying again. We're gonna not get Enchantress value. Shang-Chi would arguably be a bit better in this particular spot, but I'm not going to stress too much. I think I'll just play Mystique now, get that double Darkhawk, and then finish up with Enchantress. Fantastic. There's some lines we can take here that are quite nasty with the New York, sort of enabling Enchantress. I have a lot of power in the middle location. If I were to be a betting man, yeah, I would say the opponent will just retreat. And that is what happens. Alright. Well, my rank is kind of in the gutter, but that's because I've been playing some crazy experimental decks recently that have been just terrible. But this deck, pretty good. Pretty good deck. Pretty great, of course. Even with the nerfs to Rockslide Enchantress. I'm not sure you should be playing Enchantress. You can definitely cut that card. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Do subscribe as always for more. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.